Oregano.
That's topical.
That was so white. Arigato.
Konnichiwa.
Arigato.
Konnichiwa, brah.
You know what it is? It's a mix of Inglourious Bastards. Arigato.
Oh
Konnichiwa.
Welcome to the Peak Anime Podcast.
Welcome.
It's so lovely to have everyone here. Today, we're just taking it easy. It's gonna be a pretty chill episode. I have some very
Hot.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
not
say
hot.
they're
Could be.
hot. They're hot, but they're not.
You're hot.
Are they steamy? Yeah, you're kind of hot.
Especially with that headband.
Yeah, I like a man who's banned from the village.
Itachi.
What can I say?
We're going to chase after you. Don't worry.
Thank you. I'd love to hear it. We got Reddit hot takes. That's the plan for today.
Anime Reddit hot takes, if you couldn't tell from what this podcast is.
I thought it'd be fun for us
so
to
dumb.
just kind of go over
I'm an
some
idiot.
like mid-level to some spicier stuff. I just kind of want to see what you guys might think.
Yeah.
So I went
I'm ready.
on just kind of looking for anything, right?
I love hot takes.
And the first one, which is the easiest to find within the community, really, dubs or subs. We've kind of already touched on this.
Is it dubs versus subs?
Oh, sorry.
or is it-
Dubs can be just as good as subs.
Ooh.
I don't think they're meant to be compared, because the reason I watched a lot of what I've watched is dubbed right now is because I've started a lot of anime a long time ago when I got into anime, and it being able to be in English is how it was what made it accessible to me at the time. So a lot of what I've started, I'm still watching in English, but I will say that I'll go to, I watched the first episode of Mushoku Tensei that you guys told me to watch the other day, and I watched the sub, and I was really loving it. And then I went to the dub, and I was like, I need to go back. I need to go back.
It can be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of how you start it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
me, at
impressions.
least.
First impressions are very
But I will
big.
say though, from switching from English to Japanese is easier than switching from Japanese to English, because it can be
I get
jarring.
what you mean. Because you already have heard it in.
And I already know, and because I know that Japanese it's intended or first
Yeah.
a way to consume it,
Publication
so
of-
it's less jarring because I know that's what it's supposed to be.
It's translated a little different
Yeah.
sometimes in English.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
of the mindset.
Or localized.
Yes.
Localized differently. Yeah.
I'm very much of the mindset that dubs can be good, but
Can you name a dub you like? Even
I very much like Naruto dub.
I
Believe
agree.
it.
I agree. Actually,
Because,
wholeheartedly, it's
Like Naruto dub, Dragon Ball Z dub, so those are like originals that were very solid from the start, and they were kind of like the starts of hey, these are
once
good
you go into the
dubs, these are
shitty
other
filler episodes
animes.
though, it's like the dub actors are just phoning it in.
Of course, you're not getting paid the same amount probably.
Yeah.
But I'm just of the mindset of if you're going to see a piece of art, you want to see it in its original state as it's supposed to be intended to be seen, type of thing. And I just see that in the sense where it's I'm supposed to watch this in Japanese. I don't have to understand it in Japanese, but I can take the subtitles and read them.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that's not the case for everybody, because some people reading disabilities aren't able to read stuff like that. It is what it is. But it's just my intended is I feel like it should always be intended from the source. I would like to know it from the source.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think for myself, I definitely I see I understand both sides. I think it's we're adjudicating things that aren't in this field of saying the question of dubs can be just as good as subs. It feels unfair to necessarily compare the two. At least for
one
me.
of the Spanish dub is fire.
Yeah, how many other forms of dubs do we watch?
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah.
so long as I'm getting the story, it doesn't necessarily matter to me. What I enjoy is being able to hear, again, not understand, but hearing being able to hear multiple performances. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I'd agree
That's
there.
understandable. That's understandable.
Because I am excited to watch One Piece again in Japanese because
Right.
I did start it with the dub, and it's like a refreshing way. It's a refreshing thing to be able to watch it. But you could say that about like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You could watch a Spanish dub for that. But like, would you do that?
And so
No.
then
Mr.
and then
Beast in Spanish.
Yeah, Mr.
in this-
Beast on Espanol.
Yeah.
in this other way, I would also say, what are we comparing? Like, are we comparing the best sub to the worst dub? Because obviously, that's a
I like
crazy
the Attack on
difference.
Titan dubs. Pretty
No,
good.
I would compare if a show has a sub and a dub. That's what you would have to compare the two. You
No.
can't compare like like a One Piece sub to like a I don't even know like a shitter of a dub because it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to do two different shows because
Yeah.
you're gonna get two different qualities of acting in other senses. One plus your production company, whoever produced it, could have picked shitty actors.
Yeah, like you can
Just how
you
it
can
is.
have a good Japanese,
Yeah.
English subtitle, performance, but then we come to they dub it and we're like, oh,
It's like wow, they didn't really try.
we didn't have
Yeah.
we didn't have as much of a budget for this one,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately it
The actor
shows.
sent it in from home.
Yeah.
For this one.
But at the same time, I do think that it's the quality for both industries has definitely gone up in the last
Yes,
10,
for
20
sure.
years.
They have gotten better.
It's
general.
it's gotten considerably better, and I think this season of anime has been any anime enjoyer has been eating.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, it's just one of those things where like I very much prefer sub, and I will always watch sub. That's just me.
That's
Yep.
that's totally fair.
I'll
I think
probably
that's, I think
always
that's,
watch a mix of both.
I ain't gonna hate if you watch a dub, but at the same time,
If you wanna come at me with I think that dubs are the best, you're gonna come back with the subs are best.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a situation of like I just feel when you watch a dub, you're not getting like when a director makes anything, you want to get what they decide is the final product that's being produced.
Right.
So if it's not like because they don't have a say really in how the actors act in English, so they kind of have to deal with what they get, whether it's good or bad.
Fair.
A director might not always have that say, being like, "I want these people to act. I want this to be my deciding script. This is how it should have been translated." They don't always get that say.
Right.
But when you get a Japanese dub or sub, when you get a sub, you're getting what was intended to be produced properly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like it's bad to watch a dub. I watch a dub every once in a while. It's not my preferred, but it
What
just
dubs
depends.
have you watched?
What
The
dubs have
only
you
dub
watched?
I've watched is Naruto.
Naruto.
And
Well-
I think I did a Death Note one on one time.
You should check out
But-
some of the more recent dubs.
Dude,
No,
songs are
obviously,
good
obviously my site is a little skewed because I haven't really watched any of the newer stuff.
Yeah, there's some
But
some good fucking dubs.
It's
out
just
right
one of
now.
those things where
'Cause they actually
now
know
I'm
what they're doing.
so deep in
Are you watching?
anime.
Are you watching? Oh wait, is it out? Subbed?
What?
Bleach? 1000?
Bleach?
The
Yeah.
first core is
Subbed?
fully dubbed right now.
Dubbed.
Dub.
I think
I
the
don't know.
dub comes like a couple weeks after the
Okay.
the previous.
I'm
episode.
just so far into anime now and ingrained in like the culture of just being in Japanese that I'm just always gonna watch it in Japanese.
most
Yeah,
of what
that's
I,
fair.
Yeah,
It's how
like,
it is. It's
like
also-
I
it's
said,
also-
like,
you-
most of the new things I start them in Japanese now, but the things I have ongoing, I don't switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's understandable because if you start it one way, it's weird to switch over midway through.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching Naruto in dub, I tried to watch a little bit of it in sub, and I was like, this feels weird.
Yeah, because
So I
it's
just
again,
stuck to the dub.
first
Yeah.
impressions are big. I think
Yeah.
whatever you go into, if you're comfortable with going into and like having the subtitles on and reading, and also just having those actors give their performance, they give wonderful vocal performances.
Yeah.
Japanese voice actors have had a long time to really get a good some quality in their ranks.
Yeah, there's some phenomenal voice actors in Japanese.
and that's I think the thing that is most apparent when we try to have these arguments of sub versus dubbed. Like dub voice actors, while they have been around for a while, haven't had as much in terms of like accessible work for anime.
Yeah.
And since the last like 10 years, 20 years, so it's become a lot better and a lot more accessible. So the quality really has gone up, and I would say a very fair way. Try both. If you're feeling like I'm not getting everything out of the show, that's what I would say. Try both.
If you ever come in contact with me, I will always tell you to watch Sub. That's for sure.
This is your contact right now.
Okay.
From Ethan.
Here's our
what's the
next
next
one. Next one's pretty chill, I think. It's about our favorite golden-haired ninja.
Okay.
Naruto is not an underdog story.
I mean, technically, they are right. That is correct.
It
a way of
was
speaking.
until the war.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Until we
It
found
was
out
until we knew he was the
about a certain
reincarnation of a
lineage.
god.
Yeah,
Until
it
I
kind
mean,
of
like-
undermines the story in a way, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's a great story, and then it's like, but he was destined for this, and it's like, well, shut up. He should.
But what it's
Yeah.
about is
he worked his way to get here.
He didn't know he was destined for it, so he did all the work that an underdog would have had to do, I believe.
Yeah, no, I
that.
think that's what they set up 100%.
I get
he
what you're
is
saying.
deserving of his power,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
the issue is that the addition of that power
It takes-
undermines the value of what he had earned to what he has and continues to get to earn.
100%.
It taints it.
1,000%. It throws the whole story for a loop, and you're like, well, now I feel like I'm not satisfied.
I don't know. I was pretty satisfied, to be honest, for every power up. Personally, I was.
His
And
abilities,
I think he earned every power up too,
Like-
whether it was given or because I think everything that he was given was earned through the power that he got from himself, the power that he gave himself, and the will that he has to push forward and defeat all these villains and to build this name for himself, to earn these powers, even though some of the powers, regardless of his
The issue-
what's the
yes.
reputation, it's
You are right,
inevitable, you're getting
100%. He throughout the story, he 100% was shown that he earned everything he did, whether it was fighting or not. But when the war happened and we learned about the lineage of the Six Paths and how like it gets passed down to people, that's right then and there. It was like, oh, so all this shit isn't valid as much as it was anymore.
Like
It doesn't feel as validating because it
I see where
technically
you're coming
isn't.
from, but when I was watching it,
it didn't feel
I didn't feel
Yes.
that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's one of
And I
those
can
things
look
in
back
hindsight.
on that, and I could agree with that, but in the moment, which
As-
is good that I didn't.
Yeah.
As a story, you look at it and you're like, okay, this is really good. The way that they're building it, they're making him into a proper underdog character. It feels very well done. And then it just, at the end, it feels like it was rushed. They're like, I don't know how to finish this character, it feels like. And it's like, okay, I found a way, but it turns out that it undermines everything that he's been doing in a way. 'Cause it's like, okay, he was destined to have this power eventually at some point. Whether it was now or
like,
later.
It's in the same way that like Sasuke was supposed to always have a Sharingan
yeah.
because he's an Uchiha. Uzumakis have fucking massive chakra
Yeah,
wells.
they have
And
Yeah.
a
you're like,
chakra.
oh,
So they can.
so
be
don't get me
Jinchuriki,
wrong.
obviously,
Yes,
yeah.
him having the Jinchuriki inside him
Had nothing to do with
karma
him
inside.
being the chosen one
Yeah.
in the Six Paths or anything.
Yeah, that's just completely separate. You're like he had worked himself and like actually started to get understand who he was himself, but it's just the addition of the lineage and everything, and like
It's a slap in the face to a viewer in a way.
yeah,
That's just
where
the way I
it
see
feels
it.
like
Yeah.
it feels. I think more retroactively, you look back on some of those fights and how they framed a lot of the fights.
Yep.
And it's like, dang, that doesn't hit as impactful now because I, as a viewer, if I'm rewatching it,
You know what? I would say that because like once like it got to the point where he was fighting Kaguya and all these fucking crazy villains, I was like, I wasn't surprised at anything anymore because I knew that how much power he was just given randomly. That I know he's gonna win. I know how he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna happen. Just
gonna
Well,
happen.
how?
yeah,
It's
she
a
just
little
gotta
weird.
slip up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have a slip up jutsu.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, sexy. No, sexy jutsu.
Like,
Reverse harem jutsu.
don't get me wrong. The story in total of Naruto is a very fun story and good story to go through.
100%.
But as soon as you get to that lineage drop, it's like, what the hell?
The war arc just hits in a weird ramp.
Yes.
I'd say. Like it has
it
staying
feels a
power.
little-
I think that
feels like he didn't get to flush out his story properly.
yeah. I think honestly, Boruto will be able to flush it out and like finish off in a nice way to kind of like round out
Or
this
at least
universe and
an
everything.
opportunity
I really
to do
hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
It feels pretty good so far, but Naruto being an underdog, little hard to agree with that. You definitely have moments early on in the series where that totally feels like the way, because that he's just a fucking idiot.
It's his way.
It's his way, but he's an idiot.
I
Sometimes.
feel like, if anything, when the only time for me when I was watching Naruto where he properly felt like an underdog was the original story of Naruto. Shippuden felt like when he came back, he was already strong enough to like do what
he was
needed to
smarter.
do.
He was smarter.
But but the funny thing is even in the original Naruto series, he feels like the underdog, but objectively, when he learns the Rasengan, he is officially the most powerful Genin out of everybody there.
Yeah, he's actually able to kill people accidentally.
Yes.
If he didn't,
But
like he.
Everything before that, he's like, he feels like he's working his ass off to do what he needs to do to be the strongest.
Mhm.
And it makes me want to follow that story so much better. I love Naruto as a character. He's one of my favorite characters ever.
Yeah.
But it's just it's disappointing to see a character like that get just kind of disrespected at the end of their story.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yep.
And I also like Sasuke too, but like it was that little like curveball where it's like, but
He
all
also
of their
is that.
work was for like it was gonna happen eventually. Like, give me something better than that at least.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so it's just like it's so meta plotty that
Yeah.
it didn't feel actually succinct with what we were already known
Yeah.
as the plot. Like it felt like, okay, it's here now, and you're like, does that fit?
Yeah.
You're like, it's here now.
Because like the thing is with like, because before the two of them it was Hashirama and Madara.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But with them, it felt different because their entire livelihood of ninjas was they fought people every single day.
Yeah, they were bloodthirsty.
So they had to properly survive in order to become the strong characters they are. Yes, their powers were innately gonna be strong, but it just didn't. It doesn't feel the same with Naruto and Sasuke because they're growing up in a different era, and it just doesn't. I don't know, man. It just doesn't hit the same at all.
Yeah.
I very much love Naruto as a story, though. Like it'll always be one of my favorites.
Same.
Yeah.
It's on my body, mate.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
It's tough to see a character so loved feel like they've not been properly finished as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of
Hurts.
shitty closure on that too.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay. One Piece is too long.
At the start of One Piece, it's too long. Simply put, at the end of One Piece, there's not enough episodes yet.
Yes.
I think yes. Say no more.
Simply
You honestly-
put,
Say no more. There's
I
too
think-
much to catch up, but once I'm there, I'm gonna regret it.
there is so much we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think if you're talking about it being a pacing issue, I think that's a little
you are right.
subjective. I think it's a little subjective.
There's a little bit of a.
I
It's a pacing
understand
sometimes.
where people come in though. There is arcs that don't feel as important, and the pacing within the arc, because of things outside of just the show being told and run, that could be consolidated on, but they did because they had to commit to like a TV show time slot.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
This is our fourth member now,
Fourth, yeah.
and now they're gone.
I'm kind of shy now.
You're just gonna see a tail every once in a while.
Yeah. But I think that like the pacing is, for what it was at the time that it was coming out, honestly, not bad.
No.
It was well broken up episodically in terms of being able to continually put a weekly episode out. I understand where people come and be like, I'm okay with a couple of weeks off if it means you get to give me way higher quality stuff.
Yes.
But at the time, they didn't have the leisure because there wasn't as much demand.
Yep.
So now that we got that demand, hey, you need to take some weeks. Take your weeks. I am happy to get whatever we get.
100%.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think One Piece being too long is more a matter of how do you like to consume anime, long form anime content.
Yep.
Do you like to skip filler? Okay, cool. You can do that. There's One Piece. There's filler. There's filler guides. There's a lot you can do.
Yep.
You can also just skip the first 5 minutes of most episodes because it's recap and the intro. But at the same time, the intros are fucking fire. Across the series, they have fire intros.
They're fun.
Even if you're not watching the intro, because spoilies,
Just listen to it.
Yeah. It's a good bot.
Close your eyes and vibe. I hate that word, but vibe.
Vibe, bro.
Vibe.
It's all about the vibes, man.
You guys have anything else on that?
I would say, One Piece, it is. You have the same mentality. You feel like there's too many episodes in the start, for sure. But it's one of those things where it's when you're in it, it doesn't feel the same as when you're looking at it from an outside point of view.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well said.
I personally didn't catch up until very recently, so I was already close to where we're at now with weeklies when I caught up. So I don't know the pain of going through Dressrosa when it was coming out weekly, because that was 100+ episodes, which is literally 2 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's the thing. Being able to binge it. I honestly, pacing issues to me don't feel as bad.
Yes.
That is a growing pain, which I completely respect.
Yeah.
Because watching this show for 25 years and still not having it be so engaging, yet still being nowhere closer to the finale.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy.
It's weird the amount of questions you still have
100%.
to catch up.
Yet also you feel satisfied of.
You feel like
I do know shit.
They've answered a little bit, but at the same time, it's but I don't know this and that and that and that.
Yep.
I want more.
Yeah.
It's intoxicating in a way, low key.
Yeah. Okay. I think that was very well said. Next one is the third Hokage wasn't a good leader.
He wasn't. Yes, correct.
I think he was I think it's fair to say
he was a terrible
talented shinobi.
Phenomenal.
Talented shinobi.
Who do you know that has the ability to handle all
five chakra natures? Yeah.
Not
buddy,
many.
that's impressive.
It's absolutely effed.
You don't have a Sharingan. You just got that in you.
He can fireball jutsu your ass.
Yeah, he's strong as fuck, but he's a shitty Hokage. He's a shitty dad. He's a shitty leader.
shitty grandpa as well.
Shitty grandpa.
Dude, yeah,
he just gave. All he did to take care of Naruto is give him an apartment.
I feel like
was he a shitty? Is he actually a shitty shinobi? Because also he let his worst creation loose.
But here's the issue though. With that in a situation, that is being complacent. It's kind of like Star Wars when Yoda's there ain't no Sith in this area. Meanwhile, Palpatine's out here just I'm right beside you, bitch. It's the situation where he wasn't paying attention enough, in my opinion. He knew Orochimaru was out there. He knew he was doing shit, but he's also that's my student.
No.
I give a shit about this kid.
I mean, we have so many flashbacks.
Yeah.
Of him catching him in the act.
Oh, 100%.
And then Hiruzen just being
you get just a few more of those.
Yeah, you get a few more.
If you think about it, it's the
I understand what you mean. He's kind of just looking away, but at the same time, him looking away, that's negligence. That is
I agree. No, I agree.
How much bad came from that?
Take it for example, I'm reading Boruto right now, and you have the third Hokage who was just given Naruto and was just live in this apartment. I don't care.
Live in his
And
apartment.
then you get a character like Kawaki who just lands somewhere, and Naruto's live in my house. I'll be your dad now.
Okay,
know
but
shit
yeah,
happens, so, like-
but to
That's
be
a
fair,
little different though, because Naruto has the ability to do whatever the hell he wants whenever the hell he
yes,
wants. So
but
he's
also
like,
is,
so should
is
every
Naruto
Hokage.
the best dad towards his own children? Little absent sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
but you also got to understand, he didn't have one of those, so he doesn't know what a dad
Yeah,
is.
he doesn't have
Exactly,
he doesn't have anything
exactly.
to like
Nobody's
model.
Well, he had
after.
some dads, but not.
They were
They
more.
weren't
They were
dads.
role models and they were mentors,
were
but they weren't
teachers.
really fathers.
You
Yeah.
think Jiraiya's a good father?
No, but he was a pervy sage.
He was a great
Pervert.
teacher.
He was
That's
a
it.
great pervert.
Yes.
Phenomenal teacher. I think it's kind of similar in the same with Hiruzen. I understand where you're coming from. Yes, it is very much negligent to not take on the role of being like, hey, you shouldn't be doing any of this.
He was already Hokage.
Yes, 100%. But I feel like at the same time, he saw what these kids had to go through in the wars that they had to fight, and was kind of just like, I don't want to step in. At the same time, I feel like that obviously not the right decision. 100%.
But I'm not necessarily.
It's not even just the negligence. It's like, well,
He let
yeah,
him
it
kill
is.
him,
It's
bro.
like he wasn't there for Naruto, and he wasn't really
100%.
Like, he never did that shit. But also, like, even when the village was like, "Fuck you, Naruto," and they like
He never
just, like,
corrected them.
He never went like, "Hey guys, he's a child. Be nice. I'm the leader, and I can tell you what to do. So be nice." Because he's a fucking kid. What if that
get
was you?
Part of
what
it.
you're saying.
No. Some of the issue with that is that like understanding culture around Jinchurikis.
100%.
Yeah,
He knew
also that.
Jinchurikis were weapons and big bombs and like scary things.
not wanna
He's
set
a
it
nuke.
off.
This kid's a nuke. But the
So
thing
then,
is,
yeah, you're gonna
you would
neglect him
imagine
and make the village mad at him to just to build up
yes,
his anger,
it's
just
dumb.
so that's gonna happen eventually anyway.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's,
But not
he thought
everybody
he
is
could like
Killer Bee.
reverse psychology it, but like you realize that this man's never went to university. So why did he think he could be a psychology major?
Hey, kid, have no friends, no parents,
Not every kid.
no anything. You only get a ramen shop, and try not to get mad at life. About
Not every
that.
kid is Killer Bee and says, "Hey, yo, fuck you for throwing rocks at me."
Yeah,
I'ma do
and-
me still.
Not everyone's as
Yeah.
lit
That's
as
not
Killer-
life.
Yeah, not everyone's as accepting of their life.
I
at
just
that
think,
young.
like,
as
don't get me
Killer Bee
wrong.
is.
He's probably, in statistic-wise, he is the weakest Hokage, 100%, which is wild to say, in my opinion. I just think if you look at
Yeah.
how things were when he was fighting Orochimaru, when he was attacking the village, he was not fighting 1,000%.
He was also
100%.
fighting the first two Hokage
Yes,
in that fight.
but if you think about it, if you skip to Shippuden and they reincarnate their bodies, he is the same old man as he was when he was fighting Orochimaru. Because that is when he died. That would have been the body that was resurrected.
Mhm.
Was
He
it your
still
body when you died?
He was, yes, literally.
Okay.
That's
he
why
was
Itachi
still
looked all fucked up.
beefing out in the goddamn war like it ain't nobody's business. Carrying people all the way through.
Mhm.
He could have been doing that in his own village, but he seemed like he gave up
Yeah,
already.
he was pretty goaded in the war, and where was that energy in the village?
Other than the fact that, like,
This is what I'm saying.
yes, as a resurrected shinobi, you have unlimited chakra technically.
But I think he was able to do shadow clones before
Yes,
that too. Like he was
100%.
fine. He had chakra.
it's
It's just as a person, he was way too scared of people.
yes.
As a Hokage, he was too scared of the people because he didn't know how to like save them.
I also think
He was strong, he just didn't know how to save
I
them.
also think it was needed to have somebody who was neglecting certain situations and people.
Yeah.
To create those situations for Naruto to become stronger.
It definitely
Yeah.
Not
makes room for him.
intentionally,
It makes the other characters grow because if the Hokage is gonna neglect a lot of things, then you have to figure it out yourself. So you're gonna grow a
Exactly.
lot from that. But
Yeah.
Like my boys
There's
set
other
up
ways to grow.
a rescue mission on their own, basically, for my
Yeah.
boy Sasuke.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because the third was like,
that class they take action.
I don't know, dude.
Oh,
No, he was. Wait, wasn't he gone?
take action.
She was gone actually.
He was
probably.
dead.
It
He
was
far dead.
my girl actually, right?
Yeah, it
Susu.
was-
Yeah.
Susu.
Which she was like, yeah,
Yeah, she was a
Go.
real one.
go do it.
She was low key a sick.
Go get him.
Naruto,
Hokage.
don't go.
Don't go Naruto.
Nods head, yes.
You should definitely not go Naruto.
Continues to nod
Yeah.
head,
Yeah,
yes.
no, I agree. He's probably the like. What was it again? It was the.
Third.
He wasn't a good. I said it was just that he wasn't a good leader.
No, he wasn't.
Like a leader, a shinobi. He was
He
very
was past,
skilled.
He was very past his prime as a
Yeah.
human. not as a
And I
Shinobi.
think he had too many players that were taking too much from him.
He was in the Hokage state for too long, in my opinion, which made him neglectful and made him not make the best decisions.
made him
As
jaded.
well as like the battles that Minato was about to take on, and then got cut short doing that. And the evil that was
How long
able
was
to
he Hokage
regrow,
again? I mean, like a
not
year?
long.
Minato, yeah, it was like a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, like
It was
rough
not long
skis
at all.
Rough skis.
Yeah, shit stick.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
next.
I love that, man.
Fan service in anime isn't as bad as people say it is.
Depends on what you're watching.
True.
That's fair. But also, in my opinion, that's also just the culture of Japan, unfortunately. So, like, you're going to get it either way,
Yeah.
whether it's more or less.
It's not from your Western world. You have to
Yeah.
expect something different, and this is unfortunately how it's different, I guess, for some people.
Yeah. I think.
They're very much into the ecchi.
Yeah, the ecchi, the more cutesy.
If it's not for you, don't fucking watch it. That's all I'm saying. But you might be missing out on a good TV show.
I would say it's not necessarily incorrect of a statement though.
No,
either.
it's not.
There is a lot of fan service in
Yes.
anime,
There's
and
literally anime based on fan service.
oh yeah,
Yep.
fan service
The whole
alone.
genre.
That's what we're starting with,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Softcore
come up
hentai,
with the rest
essentially.
of the anime. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but I also don't think
What
there's
was it, that
anything
there's
wrong
too
with
much?
it. No, it's just that there's fan service in anime isn't as bad as people say it is. I think that that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
I think that like it can be egregious pretty often.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the amount that it comes, it kind of just
It goes as fast as it comes.
I'm like
And
okay, bye.
it also very much depends on your tolerance for that kind
Exactly.
of
It
stuff.
Exactly.
depends on where you're at in
Exactly.
your life, what you've experienced, and what could offend you
Yep.
or something, you know?
And do
But
you
there
take
are-
that stuff
there are-
seriously? Do you take it not so seriously? It's all factors.
If you can get
Yeah.
past it, there's a lot of peak you're missing out on.
I also would say though there is a fair amount that don't have any necessarily any
100%.
fan service, and they're great shows too.
Mm-hmm.
So just do some research.
Yeah.
Attack on
Figure it
Titan.
out, guys.
Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Barely any fan service.
Yeah, true.
Fire ass show.
Last couple here. Traditionally animated dynamic backgrounds, like 2D art backgrounds, or 3D CG.
Can you give an example of like a show for each? And just, like,
Beastars,
don't know that one.
the Netflix one. There's also Knights
Isn't Attack on Titan 2D?
It is, but they've also started incorporating 3D,
yeah.
Okay.
which is pretty cool. That's
I
what I mean.
also
That's
say
what I'm,
I also say Demon Slayer has also incorporated some 3D.
Yeah, a little bit.
When they're not fighting,
A
at least.
little bit.
Yeah.
I think a
Little
little bit.
Fishies.
From
I think we just answered the question, or at least I answered the question for
they're
myself.
kind of dipping their toes in a little bit.
Yeah.
I like a hybrid of both. I don't
Yeah.
prefer just one.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm very much. I do love a traditional 2D animation.
Mhm.
There's a lot you can do with it still, in my opinion. But it's also one of those things where like dipping your toes in and trying new stuff. Like
Trying to
throwing in a little
expand
3D.
the space is always a good idea.
Yeah, I have
Develop
no-
as best you can.
No complaints. Like if like sure, there's gonna be shows that don't do it as well. Like I don't know, some other shit. But there's just some that
Berserk.
Like, yeah, the Berserk.
The
That
Berserk
shit
is a little rough. You were
dog
even just saying that you wanted you were hoping to have a
reboot my baby right now.
So would you want it to be a
2D
dynamic,
and maybe a little mix.
like a 2D?
Yeah,
You want like an updated 2D rather than
think
like a
they
new
could do
3D.
A fire. No, a little bit of 3D isn't an issue. That's gonna
Yeah.
be common nowadays. A
Yeah,
little bit of
especially
3D
for some of the
adding
bigger pieces.
It's one of those things where like you could do a traditional grimy like Berserk so good.
Mm.
Just like I feel like Mappa could hit that out of the park in my opinion. But Mappa's been hitting everything out of the park.
Dude,
Mappa can hit anything out of the
is gonna like break down soon.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Like holy crap,
They're gonna need
they're
75 more offices just to handle one more anime.
literally they
But-
ain't sleeping.
But yeah, no, I'm in the opinion of like if it makes it better, sure, why not try it? Just don't overdo it or underdo it, right?
Mhm.
In my opinion.
Make a solid choice.
Yeah,
of it.
I think that's a fair. I
Take
think
your
it's
time to
assessment.
decide what you think would look good, what wouldn't look good.
Mhm.
Where we could dive in a little 3D. Like, it doesn't always have to be clear that it's 3D. It could be subtle in certain places. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's one of those things.
So
This one seems like it's gonna be a big one.
this is a bit of a statement piece. So
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the best anime. No,
Here we go.
I'm kidding. It's phenomenal, but
So-
it's not the best ever,
So
in my opinion.
My Hero Academia could have been way more interesting if they stuck with Deku being quirkless. Same goes for Black Clover and its MC. An anime that sticks with an abilityless MC in a world where abilities are normal is way more interesting than having the MC be OP or powerful.
I don't. What's like an example of like a show where they aren't powerful? I'm trying to think.
I think probably the closest one that we could attribute to this description would be Dr. Stone.
How?
He's not strong. He's not strong. He's not powerful.
No, but he's not the
I
only
get what
one
you're
who's
saying.
not powerful.
No, I know. But I think that's what they're trying to say. Showing a world where there is some like kind of like ability
Yeah.
discrepancy.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
think I agree with that on the Dr. Stone one. I think that's a little.
In the general statement that you said, I don't think they're, as a writer and a TV show and like a storyline, I don't think there's enough to work with if somebody doesn't have the kind of a, and even if maybe it's not a strong ability, but a weaker ability at the very least.
Yeah, because what are you gonna like? What's gonna happen at the end? Like, there's just gonna be more powerful villains that have clearly have powers, and which is part of the power system of that anime. This MC just can't. Not every main character could just be Saitama.
The only thing you can really work on if you don't have abilities is your mentality and like your general physical strength.
And just
But if
make sure
can
you're the
take over
strongest
that,
you can be as a human.
It's tough. It's very tough to do. I can understand why there's a lot of TV shows nowadays where there is.
with Psychopaths.
I think I like My Hero Academia with.
I get what you're saying with that, because like maybe not as smart per se type of thing.
Yeah.
Because the villains in that shit are geniuses for some damn reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like also the way that
They're
they
so
like
cool.
the way that they go about like the whole system of power and things
Yeah.
like that. Like,
It's,
but even still, like
it's tough. It's a tough thing to do.
I understand what the point they're trying to make to some degree, but
It's-
I also think
there needs-
specifically with the one that they lead with Deku staying quirkless.
No.
I think
tough.
I think that is they're equating it to the same sort of issue that we were talking about with Naruto earlier. How he's not an underdog anymore. Where we're like, we feel like this
It's
person
not, but
who
it's not about My Hero's not. I don't think it's supposed to be an underdog story past him getting his powers. Now it's about like the burden of his powers almost. It's not necessarily about like
Yeah.
in
that. I think it changes. It really changes once we get these like responsibilities, and it's not like we just like switched and he got it. Like we did see Deku work for it,
Yeah.
and we saw him got it, but getting it doesn't mean he's just immediately this overpowered character. He has to train his ass off, and he still isn't at a point where he can use it at 100%, and not break his fucking limbs.
right.
So like he's still working for that to be that power.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It's one of those things where
I'm at the anime though. If it's different in the manga, I don't
feel-
know.
Oh, are
I'm
you
caught
finished?
up with the anime.
No, the anime is
yeah.
still kind of in that situation where it's like he can pretty much handle most of it now
Okay, cool.
with his abilities.
He can handle most of it, just not
Yeah.
all of it yet.
It's-
I don't think.
I feel like picking My Hero is tough to say in that sense.
Yeah.
Black Clover would be a better
Because
example.
he does start out with the one quirk, spoilers, but like it's the fact that he has more than one eventually that it's
Yeah.
like it's
And it's the fact that he's not like this chosen
different
one
now.
that unlocked all these abilities. He like Naruto.
did
for
clearly
example, he
work
just
for his
unlocked. He
abilities.
worked
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
abilities, even
and it
though
shows the effort he's put into like not even just
Understanding.
physically but also
Yeah.
like
Mental and
beforehand where he mentally learned that like okay heroes need to be mentally strong as well as physically strong rather
Yeah.
than just physically strong. You can't just be strong and be a good hero. That's not how it works.
so I guess I'm not fully caught up with Black Clover.
I've seen the first episode.
I assume that there's like some sort of like Kurama sort of idea
It's
in the midst of it.
well, the whole thing with Black Clover is everybody gets a grimoire, which decides what kind of magic you learn.
And then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
just
and
doesn't
he
get
gets
one.
he gets
But-
the 5-leaf.
He doesn't get one from the
No,
first.
he doesn't get one at the beginning.
Right.
So that's the whole like thing is he does not receive a grimoire. He's magicless basically.
Yeah.
But after the fact, he ends up like I forgot the exact way that he got it, but he ends up getting like this anti-magic grimoire basically. So
Yeah.
his whole thing is he works out all the time.
Yeah.
So he's physically
Ripped. Yeah, I do. I do
Jacked.
know. I've seen up like
physically he is capable of outclassing everybody around him.
Yeah.
But magically he can't because he doesn't have the ability to use magic.
he's Rock Lee.
So yes, pretty
Yeah.
much. But in the story, he uses swords most of the time.
Yeah.
In the story, he gets a book that is basically anti-magic. So it's technically a magic of anti-magic, but all it is he uses a sword of anti-magic to basically cut all forms of magic.
Yes.
He
He,
can
gets, he
negate-
gets the 2 swords.
He gains the ability to negate magic in a way.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
in reality, he has the magic to negate magic.
Yeah.
That's what I can understand from that is like it doesn't make any sense. Why would he end up learning a magic when he doesn't have magic?
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's a weird situation in that sense because like I do really enjoy Black Clover's manga because it is very interesting the concept of their magic.
I love their dub. It's so funny.
I haven't seen the dub.
It is actually pretty jokes. I
it's-
saw the first episode.
It's like what OG Naruto was like.
Asta's
It's so
just
good.
like such a loud ass. Like,
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
basically a Bakugo main character.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
That's why a lot of people also don't like him. Funny enough.
Cool. Well, I think that's
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I feel like there is a place where you could very well have people who don't gain strong powers and have.
Is
a good
there an
story.
anime like that that's hundreds of episodes long where the main character has no power within this huge power system?
Not that I know of that I
So
can
then
think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
The only ones where there wouldn't be is when it's just normal people,
And then one person got the power or something.
basically.
but
Yeah.
even still like
It's not a common trope.
you know what I was going to say? It's so stupid. Twilight.
For God's sake.
Until
You know what?
until
Mob
she
Psycho
be-
100 Reagan. Because he just pretends he's an Esper the whole time, even though he's not.
Yeah, if anything,
It's
there's like
King.
side characters like that. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. When you were first explaining, I'm like, King in One Punch Man would be considered what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Because he's called the strongest man on earth, but the man literally does not fight anything.
Yeah.
He just fronts. He fakes it till he makes it, literally.
Yeah.
He does nothing. He's the epitome of, I am just a human and I'm here, but I've gained all the credit for something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's odd, because I look at that and I'm like, how do you make a proper story behind a character like that? Because all it would be is just like
Where you
jokes and
actually like the
gimmicks
character,
and fun.
too.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a very serious show. Whereas like there is some good TV shows where they have a
Kobe.
character who is strong.
Yeah.
But they lay out better villains so that they can grow as characters and get stronger.
Right.
Not necessarily insanely powerful,
Right.
but to the point where like like you watch and be like, one, in my opinion, one of the books I've read, Vagabond, does that very well, where it's like you come across other enemies where it's like, okay, this guy's said to be one of the strongest swordsmen ever, but like the guy we follow, he's still combating with himself, being like, I'm not strong. I don't think I'm strong. But he continues to beat people
Who are like ranked.
who are considered very strong, but in the end, he's like, I feel like I didn't beat that guy properly. I feel like I didn't win. I'm not that guy. I don't feel strong in who I am.
He didn't try dominate somebody.
Yes.
Which is what his
But
condition for win is.
If you
I
look
guess.
at real battle and real world situations, that is life. You're never going to dominate somebody that thoroughly.
Yeah.
To be like,
to
I
break
crushed
their
this guy.
will, to break their spirit, to like
Which is like the whole situation of
Yeah.
Vagabond. It's like, I'm sure I'm physically strong in a sword fight, but I'm not mentally strong also.
oh,
It's very interesting in that sense, but it's it's a tough concept to grasp.
Yeah, it
The
is.
way of doing
I
things.
I read it and I was like,
It's hard. It's a hard. It's a hard.
I
Concept.
get what they're coming for.
I love
don't.
those style of books though.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely something that can be said about it, like something that can be done that will become like real satisfying from that. Like I understand the
sure.
concept. Like if it was like a harem where you get so many amazing allies and they all do the crazy shit around you,
Yeah.
but you're just the regular person. Cool.
The reverse version of that would be One Punch Man. There's Saitama and then all the commoners.
Yeah.
I guess there are heroes actually in that show too. There's other.
Yeah.
There's a whole hero association.
Yeah, I haven't
But-
watched it in a while.
But yeah,
very
I
good.
definitely definitely funny regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of my Reddit hot takes that I found today. I thought just keep a nice little list. See what we can get.
They get me talking
Sick.
all day.
Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please be sure to like, comment, sub, Dom, top, bottom, wash yourself.
Aiden, zoom in on my face right here. Aiden from the future.
Wow. Nice. Follow us on the socials where
Yes.
Ethan and I stream, and follow the Hero HQ podcast. All the stuff in the link in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
See ya.
Peace.